Good day, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to Apex Easy Learning. My name is Pisam. Today we'll be looking at physics. The aspect of physics we'll be looking at is mechanics. And today's topics we'll be looking at dynamics. Dynamics. There are some things we need to know in physics before we go far in physics, and that is what we put under the dynamics. These little things in physics are very, very important. So we'll be looking at it one after the other. First, the distance. Distance. Distance means a space between 2 points. Space between 2 points. Meaning you can say space between point A and B. Or you can say distance between Lagos and Abuja is 200 kilometers. That is a space. It has a value. Then the displacement is the other one, which is also very close to distance. But in this case, displacement is a distance covered in a specified direction, meaning that this one has a specific direction. The directions of the distance covered is known. For instance, if you say that a man traveling to Lagos or going to Abuja or moving from Lagos to Abuja is to move to a place in Abuja, let's say Kubwa in Abuja, and you just inform the person that you should just go the Kubwa from Zuba is just 10 kilometers. If the person gets to Zuba, where will the person pass through? You know, that is a very big question. But if the direction is given, maybe you just travel north of Zuba or south of Zuba, then to get to Kubwa from Zuba will be very, very easy. So displacements include the directions and also the distance, which is the value. And that is why we have the difference between the two of them, the distance and displacement. First of all, we said the distance is a space. So for that reason, it's a scalar quantity, meaning it has a magnitude. It has a magnitude, but it has no direction. That is distance. So it's a scalar quantity. While displacement is a vector quantity, meaning it possesses both the value and the direction. Then this one, distance, it depends on path. It depends on path. Why the displacement depends on the starting point and the end point. If you just say a man traveled due north and later traveled due south, if you are to calculate the distance, if you travel 3 kilometers due north and 4 kilometers due south, if you are to calculate the distance traveled, the total distance traveled is going to be the algebraic sum of all the distance covered, which is 3 plus 4. That is going to give us 7. But if you are to calculate the displacement, that one depends on the starting point and the end point, meaning you are going to find the resultant displacement or the resultant distance between the 2 points, the starting point and the end point, which will give you 5 by Pythagoras theorem. So that means the distance depends on the path, while displacement depends on the starting and the end point. Then is the length of the path, that is the distance, is the length of the path traveled by the body in any directions. Why displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final positions in the directions of the final position. You can get other differences in other textbooks. Also, we'll talk about the speed and velocity. The speed is the distance covered with time. Distance covered with time. If you write the formula, it's going to be the distance over time is in meter per seconds. That is the unit of the speed. Velocity as well is the rate of change of displacement, meaning is displacement over time. Displacement is in meter and the time is in seconds. So both the speed and velocity share the same unit, which is meter per seconds. Another things that we are to know are the little things there, the uniform speed. The uniform speed is the equal distance covered in equal time interval, no matter how small the time interval is. No matter how small the time interval is. So that is what we call the uniform speed. Then we have the instantaneous velocity, which is the velocity at any instant of time. The velocity at any instant of time. Then we also have the average speed, which is the total distance traveled divided by elapsed time. By calculations, if you have the average speed, it's going to be the initial speed plus final speed divided by 2. That is going to give us the average speed. The initial speed is represented with letter U, while the final speed is represented with letter V. So you are going to have U plus V all over 2 will give us the average speed. Then we also have acceleration. Acceleration. Acceleration is the time rate of change of velocity. Time rate of change of velocity, meaning change in velocity over time, which means we have final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. The other time we said initial velocity is represented with U and final velocity is represented with V. So meaning we are going to have V minus U all over T as acceleration. A equals to V minus U all over T. The unit of this one is meter per seconds square. Now we are going to look at some calculations, some little questions that we might come across both in exams or. Now let's look at these first questions. A man traveled and covered a distance of 28 kilometers in 4 hours. Calculate his speed. 1 in kilometer per hour, 2 in meter per seconds. So if we are to calculate that, first of all, we're told that the man traveled and cover a distance of 28 kilometers. So you bring out first of all your parameters. The distance covered is 28 kilometers. Then time is 4 hours. And we're told to calculate first the speed in kilometer per hour. So speed, which is equals to distance over time, which will be 28 divided by 4. This one will give us what? 7 kilometer per hour. 7 kilometer per hour. 7 kilometer per hour. So that will give us the speed in kilometer per hour. Then if you are to calculate in meter per seconds, we can easily convert kilometer per hour to meter per seconds by multiplying by 1000 and divide by 3600. So this one, if you calculate it 7 times 1000 divided by 3600, this one will give us something like 1.94 approximately meter per seconds. So that is the this speed in. The second question is an aircraft fly from rest and attain a speed of 80 kilometers per hour in 45 minutes. Calculate its acceleration in kilometer per hour square and also in meter per second square. Supposed to be in meter per second square. So we are going to calculate first in kilometer per hour square and secondly, meter per second square. First of all, we need to convert the 45 minutes to hour. So let's write out our parameters. So we are given that the speed is 80 kilometer per hour. Then we have our time to be 45 minutes, which we can calculate by dividing by 60. It will give us 0.75 hour. So the acceleration, we said acceleration will be, since we were told that the body, when you look at the question, said an aircraft starts from rest. So writing our parameters there, we have our initial speed to be 0, while the final speed, which is v, to be 80 kilometer per hour. Then we'll be having v minus u all over t, which will give us 80 minus 0 all over 0.75. So if you punch your calculator, we are going to get 106.7 meter per second square. That is, kilometer per hour square. This one is not going to be meter per second, it's in kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour square. That will be kilometer per hour square. That will be the acceleration in kilometer per hour. So calculating in meter per seconds, we can convert 80 kilometer per hour, 80 kilometer per hour to meter per seconds. So 80 kilometer per hour to meter per seconds, you just multiply by 1000 and divide by 3600. This should give us something like 22.22 meter per seconds. Then after that, we can convert our 45 minutes to seconds as well. 45 minutes will be 45 times 60, which is going to give us 2700. So the acceleration will now give us this minus 0 divided by 22.22 minus 0 divided by 2700, and so it will give us 0.00822 something. That is meter per second square. So this is the acceleration in meter per second square. So you can solve this work to do and the rest of the questions that is not solved here. In case you have any question, you can send it to the number that will be displayed on our page. You can send it to our Facebook. You can send it to our Twitter page. You can also contact us on our Instagram, as all the informations that will be given under this video. Thanks for watching.